Hello friends, my name is Shivam from DevOps Schools and I will help you to enable your learning process in various technologies of DevOps, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data and many more. This is our initiative to help you by sharing multiple tutorials and videos. And if you want any specific tutorials or any particular topic, then please do comment in the below comment section and I will help you with it. Also, please subscribe to our premium services on YouTube, which will give you access to more content and videos to enhance your knowledge about all these topics. Also, if you want me to help you with regards to the online trainings and classroom sessions by our qualified trainers, then please do write me at contact@devopsschool.com. Thank you.
Thank you. Just wanted to clarify that.
Now I'm going to SSH into my VM.
From predictive network, we can directly make use of putty to connect to this VM, or we need to be into the Windows VM.
Let me repeat it very clearly. Do not use your local VM for anything. If you get network issues or anything else, we are not going to troubleshoot it. The reason you have been given the Windows virtual machine is to use that as a gateway for any connection that you make.
So by default, we'll have the putty in the Windows.
No. If you need it, you can install. Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, you can use the browser-based shell. It works fine.
Devanshu, this is Anil here. I'm using browser based to connect to the EC2 instance, but then getting an error. Could not establish.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you, because we have just created the default VPC, right? The
Correct.
security group rules are not open.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense.
So you have to open all the traffic there. So when you go to security group, and we can see in the inbound traffic, it is not allowing any kind of traffic, right? Only all traffic is allowed from the security group itself. So I'm going to add an inbound rule, add rule, or in here, I'm just going to add 0.0.0.0. Now this will open up all the traffic. Once I do it, it looks like this now. Now I should be able to connect with this machine. So I'm going to SSH again. Okay, and look, I have been able to connect with the machine.
Can you please show us the rule, whatever you have added? All. Just we need to click on add rule.
Yeah.
I'm getting an error. There was a problem setting up the instance connection.
Yeah, I think you have not created the rule correct.
I have created the rule and I've saved it as well.
Yeah, scroll down, Siddharth.
This window is.
I can't see the rule, Siddharth.
This was the rule, right?
Right. Okay, now when you try to connect, what do you get?
Let me show.
No. No.
There was a problem setting.
Do we need to create a new security group to attach to the EC2 instance?
No, not really. Just
Okay.
retry once. Are you all getting the error, or are there people who are able to connect using this method?
No,
This
I'm
really
also
Rama-
I'm getting a lot of subnets actually. For me also same error.
I'm getting the same error.
Okay, I think it's not getting connected.
I'm getting there
Do
was a
we
problem
stop?
setting up the instance connection.
Do we need to stop and start it again, the instance?
Not really. Let me try from my end once. Right, guys, it is failing because of some technical error, I think. This Ubuntu machines are not allowing us to SSH, but this is how we do it. So guys, just do one thing. Okay, just create a new EC2 instance of a different operating system. See if that works there. Click on instances.
Do we need to assign any internet gateway?
No, nothing. If you have created a default VPC the way I told you, you don't have to do anything. Just select Linux to AMI.
Linux,
The top one, the first one.
this
Yes.
one?
Yeah. Click on next. Yeah. Launch.
Security group?
No, click on launch.
Okay.
Yeah. Click on key. Yeah, select this. Launch instance. Yeah, go back to EC2 instance. Let this instance come up and try doing a browser-based SSH into this. See the security group that we have selected for this instance.
But we haven't chosen, right, while launching?
Right, because you directly went into review and launch. If you had gone step by step, then it would have shown
No,
you to
actually,
select.
I was trying to select over there, but you asked me to launch. Okay.
We can still go and attach a security group in action. So the
Right.
action.
So no.
Network
So just check the security groups. What is the security group for this instance? Yeah. Scroll down. Yeah. So look at you have it has selected a new security group, right? Yeah. Go to that security group. Add a rule for allowing all traffic.
Hey guys,
Yes.
sorry to disturb you. Yeah, hi Himanshi.
Already there, right?
Actually, how can I get AWS account? Actually, I joined just now.
Okay. So guys, I think I'll not be able to assist you right away. Probably you can check with there's a document that is shared wherein you can find all the information regarding this. So click on edit inbound rules.
Already there is a rule, right? Is
Yeah,
that not
right.
sufficient?
No, that is only for SSH, right? Make it for
Okay.
all. Yeah, make it for all traffic.
Oh.
Yeah, just type all. Yeah, select all traffic. Save it. Now try to SSH using the browser into this machine. I think Ubuntu machines were failing because of some reason. Select this other machine, give them a name so that you can identify them. Yeah. Your name did not get saved. You have to click on that check mark there. Yeah, click on connect. Connect. Right, you are
Yeah.
connected, right? Fine. So people, those who are getting the issue with Ubuntu, right, they can create a new machine and then connect like this. Let me know once you have created a Linux to AMI and you are able to connect with this.
Can I get access to
Could you
AWS?
terminate the Ubuntu machine? Himanshu, should you
Yes.
terminate the old machine?
Yeah, you can terminate the old machine. If you are using cloud browser based SSH, then I think that is failing. Yes.
Himanshi, sorry to disturb you. Actually, how can I get access to AWS?
Yeah, Mohan. Okay, so
Yes.
I'll probably align. Okay, I'll align you with someone with whom you can connect and get access to it, because we have already spent almost half an hour in setting up
No,
everything.
that's no, that is this all introduction already I knew about this. So just if you provide the access, that's enough for me.
Right. So there is a there are certain steps that you have to follow.
So 1
These are
minute.
all. Can someone please put these steps on the common chat? Please copy and put them in the common chat. I do not have access to the chat somehow. Yeah, thank you, Bala. Now, guys, now that we are connected to a virtual machine, right? Look, we are going to talk about how we can actually work with the Git. Now, first of all, let's try and understand what really Git is. What do you think Git is being used for?
Version control system.
Right.
Repository.
This is a version. Right. This is a version control system. We can create repositories. We can keep different stuff into it, right? Now, we are not really going to talk about any specific VCS. Git is a framework which is adopted by a number of VCS. Name, please be on mute. Name some of the popular VCS which has adopted Git as a framework.
GitHub.
Right,
Bitbucket.
GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket, right? So on and so forth. A lot of cloud-based repositories are also using Git as a framework, right? So our focus will not be to understand any specific version control system. We will try to understand the generic concepts of Git. Okay, how does it work? Now, right now on your machine, if you see, the Git is not really installed. If you run which Git, what do you get? Do you get something like this?
Hey Himanshu, sorry to disturb you. I've just launched a Linux AMI, and I've added 00 in the inbound rule as well, but still I'm getting that error while connecting.
I think, did you select it for all the users, all traffic?
1 second, let me cross verify.
Actually, to your earlier question, we are not, at least I'm not getting, it says no Git in.
Okay, no worries. If Git is not installed right, then you can very quickly install it. How do you install Git is, just run this command, yum install Git. So if you are using yum Linux to AMI, then you have to just do yum install Git. This will automatically install Git.
From root
We show
directory.
that yum. So by default, yum package will be installed on the Linux.
Right. Package will already be there.
It says we need to be root. I think we need to have sudo added tag to that.
Right. So become root like this, like I became root, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Become root with sudo -i and then do everything.
The same issue. I've launched Red Hat free tier instance. I've selected all traffic, all user. Still I'm facing the same issue.
Okay, so guys, please do not try to use Red Hat. Okay, try to use Linux to AMI.
Okay.
You are still getting the error. Please look into the security groups. You might have done something wrong there. Let's try to use Linux to AMIs so that we all are on the same page. I'll also use Linux to AMIs for all my work now. Please be on mute. There's a lot of air coming in. Please be on mute when you are not speaking or asking anything. Okay, so I have the I have created a new VM. I'm going to connect to it, and then I'll show you how we can set it up. So this is the IP address that I'm going to use to SSH. Now look, once I become root, if I do Git, the Git is not there, right? So I'm going to install Git, yum install Git. Now guys, we have the Git installed, right? Now we're going to talk about how we can work with this. Now see, there are a couple of key points which you have to understand with respect to the Git. Git is a decentralized code versioning system. Okay. Now, what is this decentralized versus centralized code versioning system? Can anyone tell me?
So we can work on our local system. We can clone the repo and we can work on and we can like replace that push the code Like we cannot connect, like centralized means we have to connect to there and we have to work there only. So decentralized means we can work some anywhere and we can push the code. Code back.
Exactly, absolutely right. So in centralized system, what happens is you have to connect with a remote code repository, and then you work on the server itself. Okay, and your code stays there. Once you are disconnected, you can't work on it. While in decentralized systems, what happens is you work on your local system, and then you can push your code onto the centralized repository. The advantage of decentralized code versioning systems is that they are more robust in nature. More people can work together. Multiple people can write in, edit into the same kind of code. You can control the code merging and overlap with the help of conflict resolution. So a lot of advantages are there in there. Now we have installed Git. Now how do we work with this is, uh, there are 4 phases before you use Git anywhere. You have to initialize Git. So I'm going to create a directory here. Let's say this is my directory called uh, code1. Okay, so let's say there is some code kept in there. Now if I go inside this code1 directory, okay, and let's say I have created a couple of files here. So let's say there is some file which is written, let's say nano test.py, and let's say there is something written in here, import datetime, and we save it. Okay? So that's a very generic file which is written. Now how do we monitor it? So Git has, first of all, in order for Git to monitor a certain repository, you have to initialize it. Git has to be initialized first. Okay. Now Git comes in with a lot of commands. So all the commands which Git comes in, when you just run Git, right, it will show you all the commands which are out there. In order to initialize, you use a command called Git Init. Now when you do Git Init, right, what really happens is in your local directory, a new directory called .git gets created, and this .git directory will contain the information about how many commits you have made or what all configuration options you have done. Now once you have initialized it, you will be able to configure Git and make commits into it. Now what does Git allows you really to do is, it allows you to not only roll back your code, it allows you to keep multiple versions, take snapshots. In the Git terminology, people those who are not familiar, a commit is the snapshot of the source code. Okay, now if you do not make a commit, can you get the snapshot back? Never. So whatever you did, you will eventually lose out. So this is your exercise. Create a directory, write some file, and initialize it. Initialize Git into it.
In real time,
Yes.
how this works? Because I mean, the initialization, right, that happens from the client end. Say some developers do the commit, right?
Right.
So it works on the client server model, correct? So how it does store that in server?
Right. So look, first of all, I'm going to talk about how we work locally. Okay, and then I'll talk about how we usually use it in a centralized system.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, already reached you. Actually, the lab I started that is showing Himanshi. Oh, yes, it's allocated. Then should I need to click view console?
Yes. Yes. and then you will have to log on as an IAM
So
user with the account ID mentioned in the console.
so it's saying can't reach this page.
Are you doing it on your local system or on the Windows machine?
Oh, in my local system.
Uh, okay, I think you did not register on the L&D cloud, right?
Oh, no, I haven't.
Yeah, so I think you have missed a lot of things which we covered. So people need a Windows machine in order to connect. Your local machine might not be allowing the traffic to go on.
How can I get that? Should anyone?
So I understand that. Look, I'll not be able to assist you right away because we have started with a topic and we have already spent a lot of time setting up the lab. During the break, I will have some of my teammate logged in here, and they'll help you setting up the lab. Okay. We will take a break in 15 minutes, and then probably you can get all the assistance.
Okay, so
And
thank you.
Himanshu, all these activities are we going to run with the EC2 user or the direct root account itself?
Yeah, so become root and then do it, because a lot of things we are going to do will be elevated privileges, and
Sure.
EC2 user will not really have access to those. So
Sure.
guys, let me repeat one thing. Having a basic understanding of Amazon Web Services was a prerequisite for this session, and we are going to use AWS for all our exercises. Okay.
Himanshu,
Now look.
one doubt. I'm not familiar with nano the command, and I entered into the file. How to exit from the file?
Okay, just do Control X.
Okay. Save modified answer no. Will discard changes? Should I click?
No, say yes, and then it will automatically save it.
Yeah, I came out. Okay.
Yeah, fine guys. Now look, once you start working with the Git, right? Now Git has different options in order to manage your code. How does Git works out is, Git has broadly 4 stages. So in any code repository where Git is initialized, a code can have 4 phases. Now what are those 4 phases? It will be unmodified. Initially it will be untracked. Okay. Once you start tracking it, okay, it will move into tracked state. Okay, and this tracked state is also called as staging state. And then once you take a snapshot, okay, once you take a snapshot, it goes into a commit phase. That means you have made a commit. So from untracked, you will move into staging state by tracking it, and then you commit it. How do you do that? All of this. Before you do all of this, okay, you have to do a thing called Git config. Now, what does Git config does? Will save the details of the developer basic preferences. Now, what basic preferences it is going to save? Like, what is your username? What is your email ID? What kind of code repositories do you like? What is your remote repo? All these details you can pass on. Now, there are 2 details which are mandatory to pass. 2 of the details are mandatory to pass: email and name. Okay. Now, what all Git config option takes up, I'll talk about it at a later point in time. So I'm just going to use Git config first of all, without which I can't really do all these things. Okay. So Git config is necessary thing. And how do we do that? I'm just going to show you. So I have created a code. I have done the Git initialization, which you can see here. Git is initialized. Now I'm going to do Git config -- global user.name, and I'm going to put in my name here. Okay. Git config -- global user.email. These are the 2 things that you have to mention. Okay. Now, once you have done this, now your code can easily be get into this flow. So this is called once we initialized it, then we did a git configure. That means we are telling it who am I, what developer I am, what are my preferences, choices. So you to do this, and then we'll talk about the different stages.
Please enroll our general membership for $3.99 plan to get access of all the parts.
Along with that, you can access our other tutorials such as Docker, Ansible, Jenkins, Terraform, Splunk, AWS, Azure, and various other DevOps related premium tutorials with our channel membership. If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopsschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the $3.99 plan, and grow your skills immensely. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Thanks for watching.